Greetings. Hey, this is David. Wanted to share some thoughts I had that perhaps you could say they interrupted my practice, but often when I'm doing my practice, things get extra clear to me. And a lot of meditation teachers will teach things like staring at a candle, just really keeping your attention on the flicker of the candle and not wavering from that. And when you're doing a physical practice, we're looking at our own flickering candle, like the flickering candle that we are, the always changing nature of human experience. And when you're practicing an asana practice, when you're going into the postures, because most of us are somewhat unresolved with our past, there's like some things from our past still have us cringe, whether it's the way we acted or the way someone else acted. But those cringes, that's tightness in your body. Some of the tightness in your body is that. Some of it's other things. There's all kinds of reasons. But that's the layer that it's most helpful to look at when you're practicing, is where is your tightness just you still cringing about something? Blame, the shame, all that stuff. So when you're practicing, you want to go into a pose enough that you can feel where you're holding. Right? But not so much that it's very tempting to go in like if you have a rubber band with a knot in it and you pull on it, right? The rubber band gets longer, but the knot gets tighter. Right? So what we're trying to do actually is feel through. It's more like untangling yarn than stretching a rubber band. You could feel through. It's like, oh, there's a knot there. And then you rest your meditative attention on that sensation. And some of the tensions in your body will dissolve just in the light of your awareness. Just be there. You'll feel the tension. You'll be like, oh, that's tight. What next? There you go. Oh, that's tight. What specific flavor of tightness? What bouquet? Like if you're just wines tasting, like, it's a 63 Bordeaux or whatever, right? That's elementary school bully in my hip, right? Whatever your thing is, you're going to feel it in your body and slowly resolve it. Ideally, if you're not bullying it, if you're not too frustrated, if you're not impatient. Impatience is also a lot of tightness. Frustration is almost identical to impatience. So you go into a pose until you can hear your body talking to you. And then you listen. And I don't know if you've ever had the experience, a lot of people have this with the boss or someone like that, where the boss will be like, yeah, I'll listen to what you have to say just so you can feel like you're being listened to, but I'm not going to change anything, right? That's not the quality of attention you want to have with your own body or with your boss, right? You want like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that thing I was doing really had an impact. I'm sorry. Right? And the tightness of your body is your body talking to you and telling you the impact that your way of being is having on the physical structure. And when you listen, and hopefully you've had this experience, not everyone has, I don't think, but that whole thing, like the Mr. Fix It versus Mr. Just Listen, like often if you find someone who just listens well without offering any advice, you kind of unravel your own story and come up with the own best advice that you could ever get from anyone else, because you've been listened to, you've been expressed. That tightness in you was unexpressed. You got to express it without too much coming back at you, and I feel better, right? So when you're listening to your body, it's not like, oh, stupid hamstring, I want you to release faster. It's like, oh, hamstring, you seem to have something to say to me. I should listen. I'm going to put myself in a position where I can really hear what you have to say without making it worse, without re-traumatizing, without re-triggering. Right? So there's it's how you play your edge. There's, and I think of the stoplight metaphor. There's green, yellow, and red. Green is this I can do easily. I trust I can do this. I can bend my finger. Yeah, no problem. I can lift my arm this high. Yeah. Yellow, right, is where you're like, I don't know. I'm not sure this is good. And as soon as you're in yellow, and then red is, I really can't do that, right? But as soon as you're in yellow, yellow is caution. So when you're feeling cautious, you're probably tightening something to protect, right? And if you're tightening something while trying to loosen something, it backfires. So while most people, when I say most people, I mean me in my earlier practice, and a lot of what I see out there while I'm teaching, most people look for that line, the red line, like, I can't do any more than this. But if you look at yoga as being in a state of inner peace, not as in an exercise class, but if yoga is a state of inner peace and we're practicing being in a state of inner peace while doing challenging things and using the inner peace to help us release our inner blocks towards those challenging things. If you look at it that way, as soon as you go into yellow, then you're in resistance. So actually the line between yoga and not yoga, you could say, is the line between green and yellow, not the line between